If you want to change, you need to grow a pair. And by that, I mean balls. The 7th of our 16 key factors is the spirit of an adventurer, which is needed for going beyond fear. In a word, it's courage. It boils down to taking a deep breath, jumping in and putting your neck on the line. You just do it. You have to be willing to do whatever is needed, anything and everything, to make your dream happen. You have to be intrepid, taking risks as appropriate, without being foolish. It's a matter of who dares wins. Fear is debilitating. At its worst, it's a showstopper. So this must be clearly understood and counteracted. As you'll hopefully be starting to appreciate by now, if you've been watching this series of films in sequence, fear is usually nothing more than one of the consequences of avoidance. You've learnt to shrink away from situations that have previously produced anxiety and disappointment. Your defensive walls have gone up, with the perceived purpose of keeping you safe. But this strategy backfires. It ultimately holds you back, makes you a lesser human being. The baggage that you accumulate over time is incapacitating. You become more fearful than is actually justified. Yes, there might be occasional real instances where physical danger threatens life or limb, where fear is a rational and helpful thing, but these moments are thankfully rare. So the majority of the fear you experience is associated with the build-up of psychological insecurity. It's unhelpful and irrational. As unfolding your potential, with the aim of changing your life, involves going beyond yourself, you'll come up against those barriers you've previously erected. It's a good decision to want to personally develop, a positive change of direction. But the past won't go away easily. And this is why you need courage, the spirit of an adventurer, to assist you now to move forwards. The common advice you often hear on how to deal with self-doubt and insecurity will just keep you more or less stuck, or even make a bad situation worse. The usual suggestion is to steer clear of anyone and anything that makes you feel insecure. Conversely, these same experts usually add on the extra advice to surround yourself with people and situations that make you feel good about yourself. In other words, accept the problem, learn to live with it, and stay the same, with a little bit more avoidance than before. Instead, you need to introduce an element of healthy challenge. This involves facing or confronting the irrational fear of learnt helplessness, together with increased understanding of the relevant and associated factors. The professional technique for overcoming phobias, such as the fear of flying or a fear of spiders, is based on the same bold approach. This is where you realise that hunger for learning is a great thing. You see the need for change. You understand how the conditioning of monkey do what monkey see happens, and how the avoidance syndrome infects everyone. Perhaps at first making sense, but soon spectacularly backfiring. How this is all accepted as normal. Understanding is built up, one bit or step at a time. In this context, the spirit of an adventurer is an anti-avoidance tool. Courage is the countermeasure to apathy and mediocrity, which results when there's a fear of failure and anxiety of not being in control. When there's sufficient understanding, you embrace nothing ventured, nothing gained. Children naturally have an eagerness to explore, but then it gets buried under a heap of conditioning to one degree or another. You learn not to expose yourself, whereas life should be an ongoing naked adventure with the freedom to do whatever you want to do. The emotion of irrational fear and insecurity is defeatist. It's the opposite of having a dream and fulfilling it. It goes against the concept of healthy change. Edmund Hillary, the first to climb Everest, wisely said, "It is not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves." John Wayne, the actor, commented, "Courage is being scared to death, but saddling up anyway. Seneca, the Roman philosopher, much earlier in history said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Seneca's wise words clearly indicate that when we find the courage to dare to be different, it will get easier. But when we don't, the problem becomes more intransigent. Which nicely brings us back to what we keep saying about neurology. Neurons that fire together wire together, and neurons that fire apart wire apart. When pushed to extremes beyond the healthy context of our 16 key factors, the spirit of an adventurer can be reckless, a thrill-seeking adrenaline rush. What we're describing is something deeper than the buzz of a quick thrill. The spirit of an adventurer is needed to become a pioneer, a topic we'll be looking at in a later film. Role models are needed to demonstrate to others what is achievable. You're not born a pioneer, you gradually become one out of having a worthwhile dream and daring to go beyond the usual limitations. Dan Maskell was an English tennis player who later became even better known as a radio and television commentator on the game. During his time, he was known as the voice of tennis. Dan often said, "He who hesitates is lost." And this is true, way beyond the professional game of tennis. You need to act now. The only time to act is now, and now, and now, and now. There's only ever now. So don't hesitate. If necessary, take a quick deep breath and jump in. Just do it. When you do this, it gets a little bit less scary the next time, and so on. Right, that's it for Going Beyond Fear, the spirit of an adventurer. Until I see you for the next film, be brave.